Hello and welcome to another Verbling class. This class, Describe What You See, focuses on being more descriptive, the use of adjectives to provide a rich description of the things in and around your life. Teresa.
Hello.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
Good. Where are you from?
I am from Dominican Republic.
In the Caribbean.
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes. There are many beaches.
Yes, there are very many beaches. Well, what happens when you live on an island?
Oh, it's very interesting in my case. Sometimes I can go to the beach for a long time in my work. There are many places you visit,
There are many places.
and all time is very hot.
Excellent.
It's
Well, thank
very
you for coming.
interesting.
I'm just doing some introductions, then we'll get started, but thank you so much for attending, Teresa. I'd like to say welcome back to everybody else. You were in my previous class. And Hyde, what happened? Did you get disconnected?
No, I logged out.
Okay, well, thank you for coming back. All right, and who else just joined us? Anarchism. We've got anarchism in the class.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
Hi, you should have been in my last class.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Where are you from?
I'm from North China.
North China, and you have the name of anarchism.
And my name, you can call me by my English name, Joe.
Sorry, I didn't hear you. Somebody was making some noise. What is your English name?
Joe, you can call me Joe.
Joe. All right, Joe, I will do that. What part of northern China are you from? Is it Liaoning? Beijing?
Near Beijing, Hebei.
Ah, yes, I've heard of it. That's a very big, busy area. Yeah, very industrious. Well, welcome. Good to see you back. Asma, welcome back. Mika, welcome back.
Hello, teacher.
Hello. And Amp, it's good to see you again.
Hi, teacher. Good to see you as well.
It's
How are
been a
you?
long time.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and we've got a full class, so I'm happy to be back. It's my second class tonight. I've got another class tomorrow night and two on Thursday. Now that I've got you all here, I want to tell you about my topic for Thursday night's conversation class, because it's going to be another one of those interesting ones. It's certainly a sensitive topic, but I think it's a good one to talk about. And it's about equality between the sexes. Do we have equality? If we don't, why don't we? What are some of the problems that men and women face? So that's Thursday night's topic of conversation. But that's all I'll say of it now, because this is Describe What You See. Now, it's actually a bit more than that. So yes, I'm going to show you a picture. I'm going to bring one up right now. Just give me a second while I cue the image. So we can see an image here. Now, if this truly was Describe What You Would See, you'd describe trees and grass. The trees are a dark green, the grass is a light green. The grass is short. There are children. The children are running in lanes. They're wearing white shirts and looks to be blue or black shorts. But this is an advanced class, so I want you to do more than describe what you see. I want you to describe what you see with your mind's eye. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I want you to describe what comes to mind when you see this image. What does it remind you of? Is it something from your past? Or is it something you visualize in your future? Past, present, and future, it's always there, isn't it? I'm not going to tell you what to say. I just want to show you an image and get you guys to pull something from your mind. And this is where I want you to be descriptive. Provide as much detail as you possibly can. I'm going to start with 2 minutes. I'm going to give you each a turn. And we're going to stay on the same image. Why? Because I want you to see how diverse we are as individuals and how we can all look at the same image and see completely different things, because we all have different lives. We're born in different countries, towns, and cities. Wellington, would you like to start us off?
Yes, can be.
All right, Wellington. Well, I will set the timer. Again, when you hear the chimes, you'll know time is up. So go ahead, please.
This reminded me my childhood in the school when we had to run and I didn't like it. I dislike it because this is so tired. It's very tired. Always I felt this, but in the same time, it was good and was, of course, it was a time when I didn't have more worries, and so this also reminded me good friends and boys that I I don't know a long time ago. Uh, is fun because today I received a message from a friend of mine uh, that that is school that I went, I attended, and so now I think this made yeah remind me her.
Very nice.
Yeah,
Well, keep
I
going, keep
think.
going.
Yeah, um, I think for everyone, it's good to see this kind of image because we see children and the freedom. This kind of, I think this kind of situation is only possible when we are child.
When we were young or when we're children,
Yeah.
yes. Thank you very much. Okay, next. Teresa, it's your turn. You've got 2 minutes. Again, take your time. Speed is not the concern here, but focus on being as descriptive as you can. Go ahead, please.
Um, this is my first time in this class. The idea is describe the picture and explain what happened.
No, as I said at the beginning, the purpose of this class is to be descriptive. Practice using adjectives. You see an image before you, and I want you to describe what first comes to mind when you saw that image.
This is the the good occasion because in in this in this time uh, don't have worry and you you is happy but you not but the boy don't know because uh, in this age um, everything is okay but the fathers worry for you and this is the good time for learning everything and get a good friend forever. Um, um, I no more.
Well, it's very good what you've said. It's a time where we don't have any worries, right?
Yeah.
It's a simple world. Okay, good. Now, again, guys, I really want you to be as descriptive as you can. And when we're describing things, and sometimes when we do 20 questions, and yes, it's been a while since we've done that, but it's all important to discuss size, shape, color, because these provide context, it provides details. Now, we can all see the same image, but we can't see what pops into your mind. And realize that when you're describing what comes to mind, that nobody else has that memory, and try to describe it like a novel. A novel could take an entire chapter to describe something. On that note, I'm going to turn it over to Shan. And Shan, again, the same
Yeah.
image, but what comes to mind when you see this image?
It is a wonderful event, and the moment has been captured. And if you just look at the image, you can see how they're enjoying the moment. At the same time, they're trying to push their level. So it's a wonderful picture, and it just feel a nostalgic feeling. Uh, I can look back my childhood days when I was very active participating the sports event in my schools. So yeah, it just feel me better still now when I just remember those events. And one more thing I would like to add here, like in third standard, I was very sick for few months, but then again I start concentrating on the sports, and it's become my the best hobby. And uh, and even today when I just feel a little bit very kind of depressed or something, the best remedy is for me to just having a jogging or run. So it will be a part of my throughout the life.
So sports is very important to you and your
Absolutely,
well-being.
absolutely. Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well, that's a word we use a lot nowadays, well-being. It's not just being well, it's the mind as well.
Yeah,
It's work-life
absolutely,
balance. It's everything, and it's
absolutely,
surprisingly going to the gym 3 times a week or more. It doesn't make you healthy. Sitting at your desk all day long is not very healthy. So it's how do you keep the mind sharp in your body? It's that whole package.
absolutely. That's right. And I do feel like once you just complete 1.5 mile, okay, it's over. I'll,
No, thank you. I liked what you had to say. It got me thinking as well. All right. Now, Hyde, it's your turn. Again, the same image, but
Mhm.
take us into a memory of yours. What comes to mind when you see this image?
Okay. When I saw this picture, I remembered my childhood. When I was a child, I had a lack of any ability of sport. I couldn't run fast. I couldn't jump high. I couldn't throw anything further, and I couldn't swim. In Japan, all schools have a autumn sport festival in autumn. I hated that sport festival because everybody need to participate the running competition. I've never entered run the first. Always I'm the last last person. Then I before the competition, before the festival, I slept. I slept naked. I wanted to catch a cold, but I was very healthy. I've never caught a cold, so I needed to participate in the sports festival. Other students are very glad to participate in this competition. Only me, I was very nervous about that. I hate sports still now. Yeah, I can exercise by myself using some weight. It's okay, but I'm not competitive, so I hate competition in any way.
Well, thank you very much, Hyde. You know, I didn't like competitions much either myself.
Hmm.
And even today, I'm active, but it's usually doing things by myself. I go for walks. In fact, I walk at least 10 kilometers every day. So yeah, you don't have to do things with other people, but you know it's good to get out, get fresh air, and to be active. Thank you for your memories, Hyde. It was enjoyable listening.
Thank you.
And Francisco, welcome back, sir.
Hi, teacher. Well,
Hi, it's
thank
good
you.
to see you again. Yeah, it's great. Well, listen, I know you just joined us, but I don't want to take away from your talk time. So I have an image here.
Yeah.
What I want you to do is I want you to tell me when you see this image, what comes into your mind. I want you to be as descriptive as you can. Think of yourself as a writer of a novel describing what you see in your mind. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I can see, well, some computers running a race. It seems that they are enjoying the race. They are having fun with the race. Uh, well, the children are almost flying because they are young and they run so fast. Uh, well, I think that they have all the energy. Um, well, they have all the energy of the youth. And well, it remembers me my youth too when I used to run some races too at school when I was at the primary and junior high school. We used to play or uh, we used to play races. Um, well, it remembers me a lot of things.
You used to compete in races?
Yeah,
You used to run a lot?
yeah, I used to run a lot when I
What,
was young.
what kind of running? Long distance or sprinting?
Both of them, teacher, sprinting and run races. I used to play soccer when I was young too. Usually, I still play soccer, but most of the time I try to run a little.
Hmm. Well, that's wonderful.
So it's very interesting this kind of exercises.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is very interesting. Um, some of us like to compete, some of us don't, some of us just enjoy the social aspect of it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Francisco. All right. Well, Keiko, I'm sure you know what you need to do. I'll give you 2 minutes. I'd like to hear what pops into your mind. Go ahead, please.
Okay, teacher. This picture looks very beautiful. We see a lot of glad, happy children. It remembers me, it reminds me my childhood at the school and at home. At school, I remember the classes of physical education where the children were um, stimulated to practice exercises. I, I have never practiced jumping ropes, but uh, this kind of exercise is very beautiful. I can see how this child on the left on the first row is happy practicing it. It remembers when I was at home and my older sister who was a fair child and very happily, very excited, and was very excited with practicing jumping rope. She was very happy with this kind of exercise. She and her friends.
Thank you.
It was a very nice time.
And very well done. You corrected yourself on past, present, future tense several times, so well done that you caught that. Thank you very much. All right, Asma, it is your turn. So again, the same image. Tell us what comes into your mind, being as
Okay.
descriptive as you can.
Mhm. When I see this picture, I remember the moment when I was obsessed with being a sport teacher, majoring in gymnastics. After moving to the university, I had applied to take an entry exam to the sport college. I had successfully completed my exam in gymnastics and running, but I had failed in the shot put exam. I was angry. I was disappointed. I felt like it is the first failure in my life. So this meant that I had also failed the admissions exam and could not join the school.
Hmm.
So after that, I was convinced to choose another area and to not look at the past, but to think about other areas, and that's why I choose to join the Institute of Press and Information Sciences. That's all.
I loved how you described. You're very descriptive there.
Thank you.
And that's really important because sometimes I kind of close my eyes when you guys are talking to see if I can picture it myself. But what you're talking about failure, and it's interesting, if we've never failed at anything, I truly believe that we haven't pushed ourselves enough.
Mm-hmm.
However, failure can still be rather traumatic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do you
Sometimes.
view failure now?
Yeah, sometimes can stimulate you and motivate you to move on, to not look at the past, and to because at that moment you feel like
Yeah.
all your dreams are destroyed, you know. But after a while, you will be aware that no, you have a lot of chances and you can succeed in other areas.
Very well said. Thank you very much.
You're
All
welcome.
right, now we go on to Joe. Is it Joe? No, yes, it is Joe's turn. So, Joe,
Okay.
what are your thoughts when you see this image? What does it remind you of? Take us into one of your memories. Go ahead, please.
From this picture, dozens of teenagers sprinting on the playground, and some are doing rope skipping, and I think they are hilarious and they can play without stress. And I envy them at this point. In my when I'm in that age, there are a lot of competitive sports and physical education. So I don't like competitive sports because I'm not very good at it.
Do you
But
enjoy sports?
everybody should do practice regularly, and so we can stay healthy and keep our body strength. And
Do you enjoy exercise?
yes, I enjoy exercise.
Why?
We have a okay, exercise keep us healthy and keep us from disease. Some
Yes,
disease.
it does. Do you walk a lot?
I used to walk a lot,
Why
but
don't you
not
walk
now.
anymore? All right. Well, with 4 seconds left to go, I think we can safely say we've used up our time here. There you go. So on to Amp. Now, Amp, I'm curious to know what you're going to say. You've got 2 minutes as well, and take
Well,
us into a part of your mind.
yes, the picture reminds me when I was in the elementary school. We also have a uniform very similar to that one. And I was in a school that it was belonged to the Navy. So it was very strict in having a physical education, and that you have to have wear your uniform correctly, and your shoes very clean, and everything. I never uh, was I never good in sports. I've never went, but I was preferred to study instead of practicing any sport. But it was a nice time. Even now that we are adults, we have reunions with my friends from the elementary school, and all the time that we are together, we are reminded all the time that we spend at school with the teachers, all the mischievous guys that were there, and it's uh, nice to have all these memories. And sometimes one of us remember more from these activities and new detail, and it's something that nowadays we cannot see too much at the school. The time that they have for practicing the physical education is not too much like before, and most of the students are just focused on practicing in front of the computer instead of having these activities uh, on just in the nature. So it's something that is missing nowadays, and even when the government has established that they have to increase again, it's something that it's a little hard when most of the technology around the little boys and the little girls. So it's a time that we have to recover.
Yeah, it's sad. Computers shouldn't keep us indoors. All right, thank you very much. Well, guys, that's our first round. Now, class is half over, so it looks like we'll only have time to go over another image. So I'm going to pick something completely different. And you know what? I think it's going to be this image here because, well, I'm not going to tell you. I will tell you. So I look at this image and I think happy thoughts. I think of the past because, well, that's an old vehicle. It takes me back to the 70s when I lived in New Zealand, a subtropical island, or a country made of many islands, of which I lived in the north where it was quite warm and tropical, and we never saw snow or anything like that. A very beautiful, beautiful country. So that's what brings to mind, well, that's what this photo brings to my mind. And I could go on and talk and talk and talk about the different memories I have. In fact, Those trees remind me of the trees we had in our backyard. Guys, we had all sorts of fruit growing in our property. It wasn't a huge property, but we had a lot of fruit. We had fioas, which tasted sweet. They were like small kiwis. We had kumquats. We had passion fruit, bananas, grapefruit, and oranges. And there's nothing like growing your own fresh produce. But this class is not about me. I want you guys to describe it. So we're back to Wellington. And Wellington, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to describe what comes to mind when you see this image. Go ahead, please.
When I see this image, I remind that when I was very poor, because here in Brazil, 30 years ago, we have 3, 4, 5 models of car, and one of the models was this kind, is a van, is a combi, and when 30 years ago, a car here was very expensive, very expensive. Nowadays, not. We have 30 models of car is cheaper than years ago. Everyone can have a car, but also this image reminded me when I was child, because um, my cousins, my family, and I, we went to the beach, and so the beaches here, they are not far, and so when we are children, and this kind of situation is very expected because is this kind of time is this kind of situation is very happy, and so was good.
Yeah, I can't think of a better image to finish off our class with than something that like this, because only good thoughts and memories can come from this.
Yes.
Right, Wellington,
Yes.
thank you very much. Next, Teresa, it's your turn.
My experience about the beach holiday.
Mhm.
Um, Here there are many beaches. Frequently, I go to the beach, but in September when my my I went to the beach. My nephew had big birthday, and and I went with my family and celebrate his birthday in the beach. And I they pass in the beach, and and, and um, this day was very great or happy for us, because the the boys and other nephew had was very happy and eat a lot of cakes and some fish and swimming for many hours, and the treat is very funny because every children like to sit. Sometimes they like to sit different song in the same time. Because when I go to the beach with the group, is it's a crazy voice. It's nice because all time you is happy.
Yeah, I love the beach myself. It's very, very peaceful. It's tranquil and happy. All right, thank you very much, Teresa. Okay, next it's Shan. So Shan, tell us your memories that are inspired or conjured up by this image.
Yeah, this images remind me of one of my tour. It was a coastal trekking, and it was not planned. Just one of my friends called me one night that they were planning for a coastal trekking. Would you like to join us? So immediately when I heard that, I say, yeah, I'm in. And because the characteristics of this tour, it was unplanned. We faced lots of small problems, but it was a quite experience. Like we took some sleeping bags and rucksacks, and we uh, started walking throughout the coastal areas, and we explored amazing beauty like the remote beaches, and we uh, traveled through some boats. We crossed few rivers, and then again this kind of a car we travel because it was a because of the nature of the area. It was a very remote. The car was very old and packed up with the villagers. We went to the top of the car and we traveled few kilometers. So uh, it was like amazing experience. When I just look back some and compare with some of uh, my holidays, uh, the kind of experience we got, it's can't be compared with the others.
Why can't it be compared with others?
Because we did some silly things like well, we didn't book any restaurants, and we sleep on the bare ground in night.
Well, I've done some of that too, but yes, you know what? Our youth is filled with silly things that we've done from time to time. All right, thank you very much, Shan. Next, it is Hyde. Hyde, please go ahead and tell us what kind of memories you have or thoughts when you see this image.
Yeah, I remembered 10 years ago when my sister and I went to Hawaii. We borrowed a car, rented a car, and we traveled around Oahu Island. It was a very good memory. The Hawaii has a very beautiful blue sky and blue sea, so we borrowed a convertible car. At first, my sister said, "Oh, I can't find any button to open the roof." We stopped the car at the edge of the street. We looked for any button, but we couldn't open the roof. So it's not compatible anymore for us. But we enjoyed driving the Oahu Island. There are a lot of local village. People are swimming a natural pool, or we enjoyed eating some local food and in small village, a small restaurant. Or we saw some golf course. The foreigners enjoyed playing golf. We ate lunch in a golf club, a golf course house. The place was very beautiful. The ceiling was very high. I remember that. Looking at the ocean, we enjoyed the sightseeing. And even Hawaii, Oahu had mm, quite a high mountain, Diamond Head. We drove into the mountain. And another mountain, not mountain, it's hill. Top of the hill is the cemetery. We saw the cemetery in a foreign country the first time. It's much different from Japanese. And traffic system is different.
All right, thank you very much. Oh, hold on, let me check something here. Am I broadcasting? It says rejoin class. Yeah, it says live. Okay. I'm not sure why it says that. Thank you very much, Hyde. So next we have Francisco. Francisco, it's your turn. Give us your thoughts. Tell us what comes to mind when you see this image. Francisco?
You hear me?
I can now. Francisco, you're down to about a minute and a half. Okay, so I'll restart the timer. Keiko, could you go ahead, please, and describe what comes to mind when you see this image?
This image brings to me
Okay.
very nice remembrance of my childhood and youth teacher when I was many times with my family and friends to the beaches. We have extremely beautiful beaches in the Brazilian shore, and in that time, in that time, I we reunite the group of people. We shared several of vehicles to take a lot of people to go together to the beaches where we enjoyed all the day long, and sometimes we stayed there um, several days. This kind of vehicle were very common in the past, as Wellington have already said. Um, and this vegetation, these palm trees are very common here in the beaches in Brazil. Um, and forms a very nice.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, next, Joe. So, Joe, a very different image from before. What comes to mind? What memories do you have that come to your mind when you see this image? Go ahead, please.
Okay. 2 years ago, I went to seashore, which is Bohai Gulf, and this picture, you can see the view anywhere in China, and
Hills or mountains, did you say?
I went to seashore, but
And what did it look like?
probably
So you went to the seashore, but did it look similar to what you see in this image?
quite different. The seashore in the Bohai Gulf isn't far from this picture, and
is it similar to what is in Hainan?
not Bohai Gulf, Yellow Sea.
Oh, okay.
And there are a lot of people, and the scenery is not good at this picture, of course.
Yeah, that is beautiful in that image. All right, thank you very much. And next we have, oops, wrong screen. We have AMP. Now I'm down to 5% battery life. Let's see, when does I get? It's another 15 minutes, so I should make it to the end of class as long as I turn my brightness down. All right, so AMP.
Yeah, well, this picture reminded me when my grandma was still alive. We didn't have a house on the beach yet, and then we used to rent a house during the season that it was a vacation. So usually we rented in between all my family and the extended family, and it was a big house, and everyone was there during the vacations. When it was weekend, all the cousins, uncles, aunts, it was a big bunch. And well, we used to go in our van because also my family is big, so we were with the mattress of the and the sleeping bags on the top of the van. And when we just for the weekend we would travel for the weekend, and it was a nice to share on the floor with the sleeping bags, just playing cards at the house, or when we went to the beach, and all the experiences that we spent together. For example, with my brother. He went to the beach with a group of my cousins, and one of them it was almost dying on the beach, and the others called my brother because he was taller, say go to save him, and my brother said, well, I don't know swim either. Fortunately, a lifeguard appeared and rescued him. But there was a lot of experience that we can remember from our time there together during the vacations on the beach.
Oh, the beach. I miss the beach. I used to live by the beach in New Zealand and in many other places, but the ocean is by far the best kind of beach because the sound of the waves, the smell of the salt. Obviously, in this picture here, you can tell it's very hot. And I don't like the humidity, but you know what? When you're down by the beach, it doesn't feel so hot. You've got the water, which is cooler. You have the air, which is somewhat cooler, and it's tolerable. And then, of course, there's the food, right? By the beach, clams, fish, pan-fried, a little bit of lemon, or some surf and turf. Maybe we like a little bit of steak as well. Nice refreshing beverage for some of that night. That might be a beer or a cocktail, a glass of milk, a cold glass of water. It could be anything, or even tea or coffee. Someone special with us, family member, boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse. You know, that's what I love about the beach. That's what I love about happy memories. Well, guys, I'd like to take a couple of minutes to talk about how you guys did tonight. I think you did very well. I loved how you guys focused on memories of your past and you brought them to life. Some did better than others, but you're at different levels. If you're listening to some students, you think like, wow, that person was really good. Focus on some of the words they say and how they say what they say. If you want to get better at this, reading novels is a great way of doing that. Science fiction, romance, history, law. Because when you read a novel, they're very good at describing the setting, the details, the emotions, the sense. TV, you don't get that. Movies, you certainly don't get that. In fact, movies and TV shows ruin that for you because you get to see exactly what they want you to see. Whereas when we read, we imagine. So that's a couple of things we can do. You can also search the web. You can search for lists of adjectives. But I find the best way of doing this is actually to use the image to conjure up a memory. And maybe next week when we have this class, instead of conjuring up a memory, we'll think about, I'll have you focus on the future. So what does this image make you want to do? Or what would you like to do after seeing this image? What comes to mind? I apologize, I haven't been around for classes for a while. I've been sick, my son's been sick, and then I had surgery last week. Now the next 2 weeks are going to be a little difficult too, but next week I am going to be having a lot more classes. But the week after that I'm going away on course, and I won't be back till late, so it's kind of hard for me to book classes. I probably won't book any on the Monday and Tuesday, but then I'll book some more once I know what time I'll be back. And of course, as we get up into Christmas, I'll be booking some more classes because I have some time off. If you guys ever wonder where I am, feel free to send me a message, but trust me, I don't go far for very long. I have children. Oh, let me take it off screen share. It's still on screen share. For those of you that have children, you understand how when a little one gets sick, it can just change everything, and you kind of have to drop things. So obviously I don't like to cancel classes, but if my son gets sick and it's really bad, then I won't book any further classes and have to take care of him and deal with that. Tomorrow night, I have a class. Does anybody know what class I have tomorrow night? Anyone?
Business
I'm
class.
not.
A business class dealing with project management. So before anybody goes, ooh, I don't want that, let's talk about what my business class really is about. It's about vocabulary. It's going to be structured much like this class. We're going to talk about project management. We're going to deal with it's late. We're going to talk about managing projects related to a specific area of project management. And I'll ask you guys to talk about your experiences using the vocabulary that I will introduce. You'll spend a lot of time talking in the class. Again, like this class. Obviously, if it's full like this, you'll get less time, but if a lot of people find it boring and it's business, well, you might get more talk time. So that's coming up tomorrow night. And then, of course, on Thursday, as I mentioned, a very, I don't know, I keep forgetting the word to describe the type of topic we're going to talk about, but it's a very sensitive topic. But it's a good one to have, and in our own countries, these are topics that come up all the time. That's why I want to broach the subject and discuss it. And as always, you guys have been very good at being respectful of other people's opinions and thoughts, and I think we can have that conversation on equality between men and women and what different countries are doing, and talking about, is there a problem and why is there a problem, or if there isn't a problem, right? So that's what we'll do Thursday. And Thursday is a double header. Again, I have described what you see that comes after that as well. And I'm not sure if I'm doing a game class on Friday or not yet. Any questions, guys?
No, thank you.
Okay, I've literally got 3 minutes left before the battery on this computer dies. As you can see, my wonderful digs down here, I'm teaching in the basement. Reason being is I've redone my office here. I've got a lot more table space, so I'm going to try and teach down here, but obviously with the one light up here, it makes my face a little darker, so I've got to get another light down here. This should make the class a little quieter. Well, not quieter. There should be less noise coming from my connection, so that's why I want to try to be down in the basement. Any other questions or comments?
Okay, good class.
Good class, good. Well, I hope you all learned something.
Always.
You know, as I said, you know, focus on your adjectives. When you're describing, you know, if you think you're having trouble, you know, do some more reading. English novels, like I said, science fiction, fiction in general. Because with science fiction and fiction, these are things that are not true, so it kind of forces you to imagine. So on that note, if there are no questions, I'm going to end class before my battery dies and rudely ends class for me. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming tonight. It's good to see you again, and I've missed you all, so hopefully I'll see some of you again tomorrow night and definitely on Thursday.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Take care.
teacher.
See ya. Bye.
You're welcome.
Bye. Take care.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye, Simon.
Bye-bye.